So if you've got one of these older Suburbans that you're trying to keep on the road because it's practical, parts are cheap, there's a ton of them out there and they can carry everything, you might want to do this just to keep the water out of it, keep it from getting all musty and nasty. Keep them on the road. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more on Project Oddball.
Look out!
In this video, I'm addressing leaks, roof leaks in my Suburban. Turns out these luggage racks are held in with barrel nuts. I think that's what they're called. And I believe they rust out in the bottom and leak right inside. Let me show you. Now this isn't my everyday driver. It's kind of a car we just use really to haul parts around, honestly. Take the dog to the dog park. But look at this. Just recently I've started to get a leak up there, which just saturates the carpet and it never really dries out and it starts to stink. And then you're getting leaks up here. Yeah, that's horrible. So pretty sure the only penetrations in the roof are these barrel nuts. Here they are. Some of the bolts are rusted in here. I've had to cut them off. Like this one is not coming out. So I've got my grinder with the cutoff wheel and I'm just cutting the heads off and then sealing up the holes. If I have, this will at least get one screw in it, which will be fine, and I'll seal the other one up with silicone. And these are getting silicone down in there as far as I can, and then anti-seize on the bolt threads, like so. See, I've got silicone down in there. Silicone, silicone. Here's my silicone. See how many times I could say silicone, silicone, silicone. And there's my anti-seize for the bolt threads. This is the only part that actually goes down into the barrel nut, so that's all you need. And these are kind of rusty. This Suburban's from Florida, so luckily this is the only thing rusting on it. The rest of it's fine. Here's a couple that are getting the treatment next. And I'm also painting the bars, the luggage rack. Here's what the rack looks like after it's painted. At least that's one bar. Here's another one of the longer ones. So I'll show you what it all looks like when I get done. Hopefully it stops the leak. Okay, she's all done, back together, ready for a water test.
It's raining man, hallelujah, it's raining man, amen. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet. It's raining man.
Oh, we got water coming in right away, both sides. Something's not right. It looks like we might have a different problem since we got water coming in at the window. So perhaps it's this seal that's gone bad. On both sides though, this is going to require a closer look. Since Gorilla Tape is awesome, I'm going to be using it to seal off the top of the window. Now I'll put some water up here in a very controlled way. That means slow on the hose. And see if we can get water to come in. If it does, then we know it's not the window. Alright, it's bone dry right now. As much as it can be. And we're going to spray a light mist. See if we get anything coming in. So far, bone dry. All right, let's hit this guy here. If this were a building, we'd do this in 5-minute increments. All right, so far nothing. Move this up to up there. Okay, we have nothing. So what we'll do here is eliminate these penetrations for the luggage rack, and then we will remove the tape and then water test the window itself. I'm going to increase the volume of water. Go to shower. Okay, flood test. Oh, I thought I saw water coming in up there. All right, we should have had water by now if this was it. Still dry. All right, let's take the tape off of the window, see what we got. I have isolated the window from the luggage rack penetrations with the tape. Now let's water test the window and see what happens. Mystery solved. Now I just got to get some sealant. I'm just going to use some silicone, RTV, black, and seal up the top of that window. Check this out. So I'm going to blow out this gap here, make sure it's all dry, and I'll put some new sealant in there. get this in here clean because it's pretty disgusting right now. Get that as clean as possible. Shoot some sealant in there. Hopefully be done with it. It's pretty filthy in there. This is going to take a little while. Yeah, very dirty. It's funny, these seals pretty much went at the same time. Okay, it looks nice and clean. You want to put some tape down so that the sealant only goes where you want it to go. Less to clean up too. Now you can do this repair with these small tubes if it's a small area. But in this case, where we're going down into a crevice with gasket on one side and body on the other side, and you want to make sure you get enough down in there, we're going to use the big gun with this tip, except you don't want to use this type sealant. This is for inside, interior, and not necessarily UV stable. It doesn't say that it is. So you want to use one that is made for exterior use. I'm gonna go get some and be back in a few minutes. 1 second for you. Here we go. Just picked this up at my favorite auto parts store. This is what we're going to be using. So it's the next day. The seals have had a long time to dry out. Now I'm going to cut this guy at a 45-degree angle. We're going to seal it up. Alright, it's day 2. About ready to put the sealant in the gap here in the window, seal this guy up, see if we can't get the water to stop, and do another water test. This is my setup I'm using. I've just got a magnet with some tape around it, taped around the caulking gun, this angle facing the magnet, and I'm going to slide this down in here so that'll open up the gap so that the sealant can get in through the nozzle. That worked pretty slick. That worked pretty slick. And that worked pretty slick. And that worked pretty slick. We're going to let that set up for about 20-30 minutes, then we're going to water test it. And that worked pretty slick. That worked pretty slick. Okay, it's been a minute. Let's do some water testing. And eventually, we're gonna have to take all this carpet out. All of it. Everything that's wet's gotta come out, because right now it is soaked and it's starting to really smell. Can you smell that? That's gross. Not a good smell. You guys watch in here for me while I spray the water. This is the side that was leaking really bad, so I've got the paper towel up there. If it starts turning dark, we know we got water. If it's not obvious. Here we go. See anything yet? Oh no, we got water coming in. No, it's bone dry up here, but it's bone dry up there, but we got some water coming in here in the back. All this is water. So we gotta let it dry, do a little more. Leave that right there. To catch that, and we'll water test the other side. See what we got going on. Right away we're better, but water's a funny thing. It will trick you. Now we're going to water test the driver's side here in the back. Here we go. Anything? I know, let's try. Alright, bone dry on this side. That's good. So we're about 95% there. So I'll dry off the other side real quick and put some more sealant in that gap. This is the gap we're dealing with. Ever so small of a gap. Of course you pull this out a little bit and stick your sealant in there as you saw earlier. But I'm going to go ahead and hit this again. Probably from about here to here is where it's going to need it. Let that dry a little bit. Okay, we'll let that dry for a while so we can get a good bond. It's got to be dry. This is really a sloppy way of doing this, but it's a 99 Suburban with no aspirations for restoration, not by me anyway. So I'm gonna make a little mess and clean it up, and nobody will be the wiser. Okay, we'll give that about a half hour, then re-water test. Okay, taking a break from Project Oddball back there, waiting on parts. Gonna go ahead and get this water test in before it gets too dark on that guy. Okay, if you remember, this is the side it was leaking, right here. Let's see what happens. It's been a little over an hour. So let's see what she does. Hey. Ah, it's completely dry. Nothing. Completely dry. And there's another quick tip for you from Jay Hunto's Garage. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.